Hey, Bourbon Bay. This is Steven, your host of Bourbon Bay Talks, and just kind of coming to you today. As many of you probably have already seen my video that I posted last week from Loaded Cannon Distilleries, and had some technical difficulties with the sound. Looking into investing in some new lavalier mics so that doesn't happen in the future. Kind of try to work on it the best I could in the editing software, but still kind of lost out on some of the audio. But I wanted to come on here and kind of reiterate, summarize my meeting with Steve, Jesse, and Elena from Loaded Cannon Distilleries down in Lakewood Ranch. And just to mention that it was an amazing time I had with Steve. He was full of so many stories about the distillery, about his life, kind of how he got into it, which one of the stories where it all started, he was a chemical engineer and he was stationed in Saudi Arabia. And of course, Saudi Arabia being a country where you're not legally allowed to drink because of its culture. And so he kind of made his own distillery while he was there, brought it back over here when he came back to the States. And his nickname was actually Loose Cannon. And they were wanting to use that as the name of the distillery, but they found out that there was a brewery in New England that already carried that name. So one of his family members gave him the idea, is like, well, instead of Loose Cannon, why don't you call it Loaded Cannon? And so the name stuck, and now they've been that for about 2 years. And they actually kind of, as part of that process, they said, well, hell, that sounds like a really great name for a imaginary pirate ship. And when you go to the distillery, they'll actually welcome you into the tasting room as welcome aboard, matey. So, they kind of create that great atmosphere, really friendly and just full of stories. Each one of their products, from the vodka that we tried, which was the jalapeno vodka that we'll be posting, which was, I'm not a spicy fan at all, but it was really good. You get a lot of like citrus right at the beginning, like lemon, lime. And then it's not until the end that you get that nice spicy jalapeno note in the back and that finish. And then, of course, we went on, tried some of the bourbons. One of them that they have, which is almost gone, was one that they sourced from MGP. Really nice, very smooth. Definitely get that oaky caramel flavor. And then they actually have one that they made themselves with the bourbon, aged for 2 years in charred oak barrels. And then that one was also very smooth, got great flavor. And Steve doesn't believe in doing anything under about 92 proof. So the two bourbons that we tried were at least 95 proof, which is kind of where I like my bourbons. So very nice and oaky. You get the honey out of the Florida-made one, and they get all their grains made in Florida, or at least they try to as best they can. They even have a big grain silo on the back of the property, which is really cool. And if you watch the video, and I want to take this time too right now to thank everybody who watched the full video. Even though there was a little audio issues, I found it to be just a great introduction into Loaded Cannon Distillery. So they have a very nice distillery facility, and right now they're about the only local distillery I've seen that actually has a dedicated lab where they're constantly experimenting with new products, trying to come up with new flavors for your bourbons. Or rums, which they have a rum, that's their dark rum, that was really good. They aged that in Buffalo Trace barrels. And Steve, that's actually one of Steve's favorite bourbons, is Buffalo Trace. So he actually purchased quite a few Buffalo Trace barrels and has aged some of the whiskeys, aged some of the rums in it, and the dark rum, which he had me try. You get a little bit of that typical rum flavor at the beginning, but then right towards the middle and in the finish, you definitely get a more of a whiskey bourbon flavor with the oak, the caramel, and vanilla. So, I mean, if you're a bourbon drinker, you're going to love the dark rum. Highly recommend it for sure. And then they're actually and hopefully, Steve, don't hate me for saying this, but yeah, they're kind of in the works right now. One of the products we had that they're talking about is a peppermint flavored vodka, which when I tried it, it was like crap. You should just make a candy cane out of this with some vodka in it because it was awesome. That's what it tasted like. It was just, it wasn't over pepperminty. It wasn't fake peppermint. It was like true to form peppermint. Really just a good, well-balanced flavor with the vodka. And then another one was also, they have a pumpkin pie flavored rum, I believe it was. And I love pumpkin pie. So it tasted like you were drinking a straight up piece of pumpkin pie. It was awesome. So, but for those who watched the video all the way through, there was a surprise at the end, and I'm going to reiterate that now. And that surprise was that if you watch the video and you are in the area or happen to be planning a trip to Florida and the Tampa Bay area, and definitely put it on that list of going down to Lakewood Ranch. And if you stop in, say that you saw my video, to show them the video, and then basically they will give you a $5 off your next purchase. So I think that was really great. And I also want to thank them for becoming my new sponsor as well. So now I have now Loaded Cannon and Higher Order Smokers. So I want to thank you guys for being my sponsors. Really appreciate the support and look forward to the growth and helping each other growing. But yeah, so I definitely recommend that you guys go and check them out. And again, I appreciate those who've watched the video, and especially those who've watched the video all the way through. And really just thank you for the support. And yeah, thank you to also my new subscribers. We're sitting at about 145 subscribers now. So if you guys can help me get up to about 200 and beyond, I really appreciate it. The subscribe button is down below, and I will also be putting another link for both Higher Order Smokers and Loaded Cannon Distillery, and the address at the bottom in the description. So I highly recommend you guys go check them out and go get that $5 off. So I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks again. And as Steve would say, Ushkabehe, which is water of life in Celtic. And also, salut. Cheers. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.